Welcome to Hearts of Iron 4. So I played the game a couple of times and I decided I needed something different. So I asked my cousin to challenge me, and he decided to have me play Germany without any tanks. As you probably know, Germany won most of the early war because of its tank forces. And its tank forces did a lot to delay its inevitable defeat. But I'm going to have to fight without them. So, let's get started by getting rid of our tank divisions. In fact, I'm going to pare it down to the point where I have two types of divisions, infantry and SS. You've already seen that I've switched everything over. What I'm going to do in the long term is improve both divisions so that they have anti-tank, and artillery attachments, which will hopefully give them a little more oomph, make them more survivable, and help deal with the fact that I have no tanks. But until then, until I have the army experience and the technology to do that, I need to get them into position and get them training so that I can get that army experience. I'm also going to have to build new divisions because I certainly do not have enough to fight this war, especially without tanks, which is going to be an incredible challenge. And I think I'm going to compensate for my lack of tanks with excessive amounts of aircraft. However, I need to make sure that I don't spread my production out too much and end up diluting my air force by having too many different types of aircraft. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus my production on just fighters and tactical bombers, because the TAC bombers can be used to strike ground units and break up fortifications. I'm also going to do something very different for the Germans Navy-wise. I am not going to use submarines. In fact, if you've watched, I've just deleted all of them. My goal is going to be the development of carrier power for the Germans, which is why you can see I'm developing the rudiments of it already. Now I want to get that going. That should give me a good little start. Now, one of the big things with the Germans is oil. You are constantly buying oil and rubber from other countries. But you can produce it all. You don't need to buy oil from other countries if you produce it. So, I'm going to produce it. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get airfields up along my key zones. Now, all of this plays into my grand strategy for how I'm going to win this war. My first step is obviously military production. No tanks, so why bother? No close attack aircraft because I'm doing TAC bombers. But the first idea, the main strategy here, is going to be producing only the things I absolutely have to have and producing them in abundance. I will eventually produce fighters and bombers for the carrier, but even those, I'm going to have to select how I build them, how much I dedicate to them, and it's going to be a lot less than I dedicate to the ground forces, because my main war is going to be a ground war. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and convince the Russians to go to war against Poland. And I'm going to try and do this without actually going to war myself. I'm going to try to get as much of the European continent as I can under my belt without fighting. It is not going to be easy by any means, but if I can do it, then it will give me the opportunity to prepare properly so that when the Russians declare war on Poland and beat them, as they inevitably should, I will have my armies in position all along the Polish border, going from East Prussia, hopefully through the Danzig corridor, down the frontier here, into Czechoslovakia. And that entire front will be ready, heavily prepared, lots of troops, lots of aircraft, lots of airfields, good infrastructure, so that when the Germans hit that line here, I can just turn around and push them back. If I can manage that without going to war with France or England, then I'm in great shape. And to help me in that, I'm going to start turning both France and the US fascist. The US because I don't want them getting involved in the war in the Pacific. The more I can do to screw with their politics, the better. In the meantime, I'm trying to get troops out as quickly as I can so that I can increase the number of divisions I can send into Spain to help with the Spanish Civil War. And all of those aircraft that I disbanded up here are primarily going to end up being sent to Spain as Lend-Lease. All of the pre-World War II aircraft, all the interwar aircraft, is going to Spain. Oh, damn. That's too soon. So I'm going to be able to send 2 divisions to Spain right now. What I'm going to do is take those 2, split them off, and I'm going to send them over. And I want to send them as quickly as I can. Because I want to beat the Republicans to the punch. If I can get the Nationalists set up properly and take out some of the key locations for the Republicans, then this war is going to be over very quickly. Also, I know the Spanish have very few aircraft. I've played as the Spanish, I have fought the Civil War, and I've won it, and aircraft were in short supply. So as the Germans, I am dumping all of these fighters and bombers that I don't want onto Spain. What that's going to do is give the Spanish a huge leg up. The other thing I'm going to do, I can't use them. Somebody might as well. So enjoy all the tanks. Now once all of those arrive in Spain and once my troops arrive in Spain, I should be in a good position to start fighting back. The other thing I'm going to do, I'm going to try and increase the number of divisions that I have deployed, because the more divisions you have in the field, the more you can send as volunteers to other countries. So let's see how quickly we can increase our manpower, increase our military, and get troops out here. And this is a great sign. We are 70 days in. I know that because I just finished the remilitarization of the Rhineland, which was my first. And the Spanish Civil War is going full tilt. So, let's get a silence course going. But the Spanish have already closed off this gap, and it looks like they're fighting over here. As long as they can hold Zaragoza, we might stand a chance. What I'm going to do is put my troops there and send them towards Barcelona. Because if I can win Barcelona and shut down this northern corridor, it really reduces the amount of effort that's necessary. Because all of this border becomes that. Alright, let's see what happens. And to make things more interesting, let's do that. Alright. I don't think I can send aircraft. But let's find out. Since I'm not going to use close air support, we'll send those as well. need more divisions. Okay. This war started way too soon. 28. I need 2 more divisions to finish that out. Oh, we got. Let's get these 8 in an army. And let's set that to go there, just to simplify measures. All right. Can I send more volunteers? I can. Excellent. All right. You. Go over there. Send volunteers. That guy. Go. When he arrives, we will immediately have him join the Spanish volunteer army. And hopefully that extra little bit will prove decisive. And to make it more so, since we have some experience. Oh, I don't have what I need yet. I don't have anti-tank guns. How close are we? A bit. 10% build speed. That will help. Yep, you know what I'm missing? I'm missing sound. Alright. The Spanish have done a good job of holding us up here at this line. And the nationalists, the nationalists aren't doing half bad though. They're holding the line, which is good. We've cut the front. Now if we can seal it up, we'll be in great shape. Can that bomber go down there? Nope. So we get rid of it, send it back to the reserve. Excuse me. I always love watching the French panic. They can't decide if they need to worry about Spain or not. And so they send troops south, and then they send troops north, and then they send troops south, and oh, that is not good at all. I need to get that back. Let's get our other silent workhorse in. Alright. See, now we've got enough that there's a layover here. So let's get an airfield running. Excellent. The war is going well, in spite of that brief snafu. Looks like the Italians have gotten in on this. That's good. Before we go any further, I need anti-tank guns. And I need carrier bombers and carrier fighters. And let's pare down production. Excellent. And then we need to get some tungsten. And we can give back some oil to Venezuela. Excellent. Now, let's give these guys anti-tank guns. Let's give the infantry anti-tank guns, and let's switch out some of their other stuff. Alright. What I'll probably end up doing is building another division type later that includes mechanized infantry and self-propelled rockets, which aren't tank-based, so I can use them. Ooh, the Anschluss. Let's do that early. And then we'll go for the tech option, which will get us even further ahead. Man, Anschluss in early 37, that is really good. Oh yeah, since the Spanish Civil War is over. Excellent. And now we're under 550,000. Why? Why am I under 550,000? Because my people are coming back from the Spanish Civil War. Until they get back, I won't have the numbers. At least I hope that's what it was. Okay, let's Blitzkrieg theorists so we can get more army experience without exercising our guys constantly and to death. Let's drop all of those guys into the field. Yep, that did it. Right. And then we'll slow down those two. Alright. Excellent, excellent. Well on our way. Paulus. Paulus. You need to be promoted. Excellent. Our Navy is building, our Army is building, our Air Force is growing, we're building our Navy fighters. We don't have carrier development. We'll deal with that after we get this construction 2 done. Shoot. The Anschluss has finished, which means that Austria is now ours. These guys will redirect to Poland. So let's just clear their orders, then redirect them to Poland. We will take the Cav, the mountain divs, and we will turn them into SS divisions. And we will add them to this border, which we get extended all the way down. You know what, let's turn these guys into SS as well. Add them to the same one. Wow. Then, let's do... We can't do anything else yet, so let's do air innovations. I've got 4 more factories. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Go here. Let's bump another airfield up. Okay. Let's do industrial concerns. How is France doing? Ooh, very well indeed. 31% fascist. Wonderful. And the US is 28% fascist. Also good. Excellent. We're starting to turn the world fascist. It's a wonderful thing. Sorta, I guess. Yeah, wonderful. We're just going to go with wonderful. And we're going to ignore the really bad implications of that statement. Yeah. 'Cause game. Let's send these guys over to this line. Let's get rid of these Austrian templates. We don't need them. And let's make sure we've got our carrier. We're going for the Class 2 because we want we want as good a carrier as we can possibly get. There's no point in doing this if we don't get what we're after. Alright. From here I'm going to go air innovations to rocketry and the extra research. And by the time I finish that, I should have what I need in order to start doing other demands. I mean, I can do this Eastern claims, but it's just unnecessary. I mean, all it does is pull in this tiny little sliver that's Mamel. Literally that. That's not really worth it. Not in the grand scheme of things. Not if it's going to jack up world tension and cause the British and the French to become antsy. I would much rather go for Czechoslovakia and then Yugoslavia and give part of Czechoslovakia to Poland to get the Danzig corridor. Because once I've got the Danzig corridor and most of Czechoslovakia, if the Russians declare war on Poland, which I'm hoping they do, and storm through, I will have this nice solid border with them. And when the Russians get up to here, I will have good solid airfields loaded down with aircraft, ready to start striking them, and an army ready to push back. Heavily equipped with the best things I can possibly give them. And hopefully, it'll be a walkover. Now, I could be completely, hopelessly wrong about that. But there's no point if you don't have hope, right? If I walk into this believing I'm doomed, then I really am doomed. I need to see if I need to add more. Oh, look, report's already done. Excellent. Next. Just in case Italy decides to do something stupid, or I end up needing more airfields down here. Whoa. A lot of stuff happening. Japan declares war, Pax Americana, Japanese. Oh, the UK is trying to push the Turks. Okay, that's fine. It's better there than Greece, I guess. Still need more factories. We'll get them. We will get them. Czechoslovakia and Yugoslavia should add a pretty penny. Might give me enough to get through this. Alright. Alright, let's get those troops done. Oh, France. You prepare for a war with me, and I've got you 38% fascist. You aren't going to go to war with me anytime soon. None of those. Nope, I need that. I have a lot of things I need to research right now. Well, that's not quite what I was hoping for. But let's see what happens. Maybe if they go fascist, they'll walk away from the UK. Or I can get them up to 40% fascist and start a coup. Force them to fight a civil war, which leaves them slightly less powerful. Let's look at that option. They're at 40%. Let's wait just a little bit until they get to 45% and see what happens. Yeah, I chose to start the Civil War in Alsace in the hope that they could fall back on the fortress cities and resist, if nothing else. If it works, maybe they blow up their own damn fortress. Maybe the Maginot Line gets weakened by the French coup, making it easier for me to punch through if I have to. Again, I'm going to try and avoid a war with France, but there's no guarantee here. Alright, what am I waiting on? Extra research slot. Once that comes through, I probably need to... Excellent. Alright, we will demand the Sudetenland, and we will start that. Alright, we will wait out the Sudetenland, and once the Sudetenland hits, if we have to go to war, we will stop for the night. If we don't have to go to war, well, we'll still stop for the night. But we'll see what happens with the Sudetenland, and that's where we'll call it. Obviously, if they give us the Sudetenland, I'm going to demand the rest of it. It's just how it has to go. But I'm trying not to be too provocative, and that should help me make this work. let's do that. And let's drop this back down to less important. That may be a mistake. I need those badly. My carrier's almost done researching. Yay, carrier! My oil's almost done. Let's see if... Oh yeah, that is awesome. Drop that. Drop that. I am down so much better off. So much better off. Look at that. I'm already producing 2 oil fields out of that 1. That is excellent. One guy. One guy for all of East Prussia. Woo! Germany! Excellent. Czechoslovakia went for us. Nope. Czechoslovakia did not go for us. Shit. I thought the French were allied with the... They're not. They're not allied with the Brits. I have 2 years to take that action. I do not have to go to war right now. Okay. I'm going to figure out how I'm going to handle this, and then I will come back to it. I think what I'm going to do is ignore this possibility of war with Czechoslovakia and France, go for Yugoslavia, see if I can bring them in, then hit Czechoslovakia and France. Because I don't think I'm ready for this. However, I do have this beautiful little coup going, which will finish in February of 39, which gives me a year before I have to declare war on Czechoslovakia. So a year from now, almost, the French will be in a civil war. I might have Yugoslavia. I'll have more troops. I'll have more equipment. I'll have more fighters and more bombers. I think we just wait. We continue to grow and we wait. And in a year, maybe we go to war. But that's for another day. And until then, happy wargaming.